Today's video is brought to you by Alliance, Heroes of the Spire, an RPG massively breaking into mobile charts across the globe. You heard about this game? It has nearly 400 unique characters that you can combine in over 10,000 different ways on the battlefield. You can play two different ways. You can take on crazy giant bosses in battles to the death, or you can do PvP and face off against real people like your friends or whoever. Join a guild, do whatever. It's a really versatile game with a lot going on, and it offers a robust array of play styles to choose from, and I promise you I won't judge you for how you play, even if it's vastly inferior to my own play style. And here's something sweet. Download Alliance via my links below, and you get a massive bonus of 50,000 gold and 50 gems right now. Pretty big deal. And as always, I remind you that supporting my sponsors helps to support this channel. So check out Alliance, Heroes of the Spire, via the download links below. Hello, I'm TJ Kirk. Welcome back to Triggered. I was gone for a while, sick, dying, hospitalized, and weak. Bronchial spasms making my lungs paltry. Still sick, you can hear it in my voice, I'm sure. But I'm better. Haven't smoked a cigarette in 3 days. Got this fucking thing. Don't like it as much, I'll be honest with you. Feel like strangling someone, So pretty normal. My normal, whatever. It's all good. First thing I'd like to do today is share with you something that happened on Friday night. Could have tried to recreate it, but it would never be as good as it was the first time. We did an episode of Drunken Peasants live on Twitch. We can't stream on our channel right now because we got a strike. So we're doing it on Twitch, And one of the videos we watched on DP was a Prager video of Ben Shapiro, everyone's favorite conservative all the fucking sudden. And man, did I get pissed off. I just got progressively more and more angry the longer I watched. I think it's fun, so I'm just going to show it to you.
Hollywood writers, producers, directors, actors create characters we keep wanting to spend time with, then have those characters act in ways most of us would judge wrong. Then, in effect, they ask us a question. Isn't it really okay that Rachel from Friends decided to have a baby without first marrying Ross?
Yes, it's fine.
We have fucking subjective life decisions and morality, but because you don't agree with
characters on TV do things I don't like.
Yeah, I know. That's what it sounds like.
It's propaganda.
God
damn it!
TJ,
Would you just die already?
The Hollywood executives admitted it, though. TJ, they admitted it that you would never do that in your normal life, but the characters do it.
Propaganda. You know what? It's not. My problem with them having the baby is not the without marrying first. It's the fact that they reproduced. Yeah. In general, I'm against that.
The fact that the show is popular,
but I don't give a fuck if they were married or not. I don't give a fuck what they do. I don't care if fucking Rachel puts on a big old strap on and fucks Ross in the ass in the middle of a fucking playground. I don't give a shit.
I might actually
fuck
have
you.
watched more fucking Friends.
I might have actually fucking watched that stupid, miserable piece of shit show.
I tried a couple of times and I was just like,
it's
bowled
unwatchable.
Over by it's fucking
it's unwatchable.
It's
retarded unwatchability.
Friends, look, I'm sorry. If anybody out there enjoys Friends,
they should be killed.
Something similar happened in the early 2000s. Vice President Joe Biden was right when he said that Will and Grace had a major impact on how Americans think about same-sex marriage. Before the hit NBC show, though most Americans had a live and let live attitude toward private sex.
So that's why they let them quarters get married, because of Will and Grace.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I knew it.
So yet again, just these fucking outlandish fucking theories that, they basically amount to fucking conspiracy theories that this happens or this happened. It's like, can you show the correlation of how that happened? Can you show some proof?
Even if it did, who gives a shit? Who fucking cares if Will and Grace made people more accepting of gay marriage?
Because gay marriage is wrong.
It's wrong, TJ.
It's wrong.
Because I said it's wrong.
Abortion is wrong.
And abortion...
It challenged my moral values.
This motherfucker is such a fucking snowflake. He can't fucking stand the idea that a television show might have an opinion he doesn't like.
Yep.
Fuck him! Blow his fucking brains out!
The idea of men marrying men or women
has
women.
Any in the fucking
But
first
seeing
place.
charming and funny Will Truman live his life
fuck?
week after week
What a
paved the way for...
snowflake bitch! What a fucking pussy! This is your fucking hero, right wing? This little crybaby who's like, I saw an opinion I didn't like on the TV! Who fucking cares, bitch?
Tell us how you really feel about this, TJ.
I think that's beautiful. Maybe you agree. Maybe you're wrong. I don't care. It's beautiful. You know what's not beautiful, though? This oversaturated, half-sentient Cheeto and his new tax cuts. I think it's so funny that Trump ran as this, not your typical Republican sort of character. And I say character because it was fucking fiction. Because nothing is more Republican than a big old tax cut. Reagan did it. Actually, Reagan did it fucking twice. G.W. Bush did it. Now Trump's done it. Or he's about to, whichever. I don't know when this video is going to hit. But there's nothing more Republican than a tax cut, And it's sad because it's always the same, trickle-down economics bullshit. I almost feel like I owe Hillary Clinton an apology for her whole trumped-up trickle-down line. It was the right line. It was just the wrong time because this really is trumped up trickle fucking down. The idea is they cut the taxes for corporations. Then the corporations have more money, so they hire more people, even though they already were making huge profits anyway. So why weren't they already hiring people? Who fucking knows? Thus, the money trickles on down to the common man. And sometimes it does work for a while. Like, right now there's a lot of people pointing to the stock market and saying, look how great it looks. That means the economy is doing well. And we had these same fucking people doing the same fucking shit during the Bush years. Then the market tanked in 2008 because it turns out that what's good for Wall Street and what's good for the people ain't exactly the same fucking thing. Bush deregulated Wall Street and he slashed their taxes. Fuck you. They played games. They made bad bets and they crashed and they burned. And you know whose responsibility it was to bail them out when they crashed and burned, right? It was the taxpayers. The money didn't trickle down. It trickled up. You know what trickled down? The fucking responsibility. I could get into other aspects of the Bush tax cuts as well, like how the Bush tax cuts coupled with the Bush wars added tremendously to the deficit, which Obama ended up getting blamed for by a lot of Republicans. I think what you really need to do is just ask yourself a simple rhetorical question. Was the stock market crash of 2008 500 years ago? That may seem like a ridiculous question, but the way everyone seems to have forgotten the lessons of 2008 makes me think that it was 500 fucking years ago. So here's what's going to happen. And if you look at my track record of predictions over the last 10 years, I've done well. Here's my prediction. This tax cut is going to do really well at first. People are going to like it. Businesses are going to like it. Might even help Trump's popularity a little bit. Then in about 3 to 6 years, the other shoe's going to drop. The bubble's going to bust. The illusions are going to shatter and everyone's going to go into panic mode and the Republicans will be scrambling to figure out how to blame it on Obama somehow. Ultimately, we, the people, will once again be expected to bail out big business. And only then will the people start to get deja vu, like, hey, didn't we do this before? Sad fucking story. Hope I'm wrong. But I'm not. But I don't want the right wing to think I'm picking on them, I don't want them to think that it's all about them and they're the only ones fucking up. I'm yelling at poor little Shapiro Stein. Then I say I don't like Trump's tax cuts. That's pretty triggering for my conservatives in my audience, and I'm sorry. So let's get them back on my side by taking on a video someone sent me on Facebook called Jordan Stevens on the effects of toxic masculinity.
My name's Jordan Stevens, and I'd like to talk about toxic masculinity.
Is there a reason you're dressed up as a train conductor? Because, holy shit. Are you the guy that crashed that Amtrak? Was the phallic shape of the train too toxic for you, so you had to derail it to protect the public from the prompt propagation of patriarchal pandemonium?
The idea of being a man, this idea of what a man is, I think is incredibly flawed.
Which one? There's not just one idea about what being a man is. Lots of people have lots of different ideas about what makes up being a man.
I grew up in a world where I would have role models like James Bond, a womanizing murderer who has basically spent 27 films running away from his childhood trauma.
Okay, James Bond murders terrorist. No, fuck you. James Bond murders terrorists who threaten the world, okay? We actually need people like that. As for being womanizing, so what? The motherfucker likes pussy. If he was a girl who liked dick, you'd be slapping her on the back and saying, "You go, girl." Actually, maybe you wouldn't be slapping her on the back because that's probably sexual harassment by today's standards.
I know that a lot of men around me haven't had easy upbringings, haven't had easy childhoods. Sometimes you just want like a hug, sometimes you just want someone to hear what you've been through. There is a male crisis at the moment because a lot of young men are killing themselves, unable to access their emotions because they feel that if they do, they'll be seen as weak. It's okay to be sad, man.
I think if a man reached the point of killing themselves, it's because they are acutely aware of the pain that they feel. I don't think an emotionless person kills themselves. Why would they? They're not troubled by any emotion.
Talking with friends, for example, do you know what I mean? We live in an environment where I don't think it's particularly desirable for men to sit around and talk about how sad they feel about everything. But it's incredibly important because that sadness manifests. And if it isn't dealt with, if you don't take it upon yourself to heal yourself before entering into another person's space, then it can end with things like abuse and assault.
So here's something you might not want to hear. Sitting around talking about how sad you are isn't actually dealing with anything. It might be a catharsis. It might be a nice little aside, communicate with another person. But ultimately, it's not addressing the problem of your sadness. It's just relating it to somebody. Surprisingly enough, the cure for sadness isn't wallowing in it.
How many of the men out there could cry in public and not feel self-conscious? How many people could sit down and be like, yo, I feel angry at my parents, I feel sad about my best friend doing this, I feel sad about society treating me like that. Like, it's cool. Trust yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself. Everybody deserves to be loved, especially by themselves.
What a bunch of wussy pussy bullshit. If I want to love myself, I'll go to Hentai Foundry, get some Kleenex, and go to town. No one, by the way, should be crying in public. Not men, not women, not even children, really. I don't want to see your big display of emotion when I'm at Chipotle trying to get my burrito. Let me convey my emotions to you, okay? Let me take your advice and tell you how I feel. I feel like seeing people crying in public makes me uncomfortable. And if I'm in a mean mood, which I usually am, it makes me feel amused and mocking. I want to laugh at people who can't keep their shit together in a public place. Unless your baby just died or something, you should not be crying in front of strangers. And honestly, even if your baby did die, you should be crying tears of happiness because you just got spared at least 18 years of bullshit. But that's probably my toxic masculinity talking. Now I'm just going to go sleep with 10 women and murder some terrorists because James Bond is a thing, and I want my martinis shaken, not stirred, because that's the only male I've ever seen as a role model. My name is Kirk, TJ Kirk, and if you like my stupid channel, subscribe to it. Give this video a thumbs up, contribute to my PayPal or my Patreon. I thank you kindly for the support. Peace the fuck out. Fuck you, bronchitis.